We have an update. We about to get into it. But before we get into it, I must say this. My prayers do go out to that unfortunate CEO of a black ops company. My prayers do go out to his family. What happened to him was unfortunate, but some truckers won't just let you mess with them. Some of them won't let you get over. Some of them really don't have nothing left to lose. These black op companies keep screwing over these drivers without a care in the world. Eventually, drivers like this one that just got caught, drivers like the ones in the past that just did despicable things, they will pull up. They will eventually pull up. Companies need to watch out. They need to look at channels like mine because I talk about black op companies all the time. I talk to drivers that get messed over all the time. Now, the ones that I talk to, they do feel some kind of way, but they move on. But drivers that really don't have nothing left after you screw them over, and the fact that you aren't willing to give them what they owe you, they're going to take it to the extreme. Those black op companies that screw drivers over are really the biggest problems. So I have an update. They did catch this driver. His name is Josif Suclea. What's his name? Suclea. Josif Suclea. That's his name. They caught him. They brought him back, and now he's in jail. But imagine showing up to work, though, and hearing this driver actually threaten to kill the CEO of that company. And then days later, the CEO of that company ends up dead. That happened. That actually happened. This driver came in, actually threatened the CEO. I guess the CEO didn't take it serious because a lot of drivers be in their feelings, and I guess they be talking, but nothing actually happens. But days later, dude end up with his throat slit and his body's burned. Maybe CEOs of these black op companies, maybe you guys should tighten up a little bit. Because if somebody comes in there threatened, don't take it lightly. Don't take that shit lightly. What you should do is tighten down on security and try to get this driver taken care of. That's what you guys probably might want to start doing. Drivers like this that don't have nothing to lose, man, they coming after you. Think about that while I get you guys caught up. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for listening. I am Lockoutmen, and today we're going to catch you up with the update that involves the disgruntled driver, a brutal murder of the CEO, the fire of the company where they found his body, and this time they got surveillance footage of the whole thing. Let's talk about it. So here's what's went down so far, and let me get you guys caught up. You already know that a disgruntled driver went in about a while ago and did the unthinkable to the CEO of the company. He went in there, he gus-freed the guy and left the building burning after he left. He went up to Michigan, but that's where the laws found him and extradited him back to Illinois. Now here's what we know now. Shout out to Patch, by the way, for the information. A driver by the name of Josif Suclea, 53 years old, is accused of murdering his boss, the CEO of the black ops company ATG Truckload, by slashing his throat inside the company's office. And this didn't come out of nowhere. Prosecutors say Suclea has repeatedly threatened to kill the CEO, and not behind closed doors, but in front of other employees. Why? Well, unfortunately, the CEO of the company was going through some business troubles, and being that the troubles was piling up, he wasn't going to be able to take care of the drivers that was driving for him. He leased the reefer trucks from a company called Compass Truck Rental, and by February 28, he announced the company would be shutting its doors, leaving countless drivers out on the streets. This driver in particular didn't take well to that, obviously. Now, between that announcement and May 5th, the day of the murder, Suclea allegedly told the people multiple times that he was going to kill the CEO of the company, and even said that he was going to go after the family. On March 5th, the cameras did catch the CEO walking into the building around 2:30, and the driver walks in shortly after that. He follows the CEO around the office and eventually into a back room where there's no cameras, and that's where the unthinkable happened. Audio from the security cameras catches the CEO screaming and asking why. Moments later, the driver comes back out into view, bloody, and he just walks out, just like something out of a movie. But it didn't stop there. Dude literally looked up at the camera and pulls down the smoke detector, and within an hour, the office is filling up with smoke. A small fire started in the room where the CEO was found lying on the floor in a pool of blood. It's crazy. A forklift delivery guy shows up at around 4 p.m. and can't find anyone. Smells smoke, calls 911. Firefighters find the body, a burning binder, and signs of arson. The CEO phone was found in the trash with a bloody fingerprint. DNA was collected from the spit that was in the trash can that the driver did, and the murder weapon, a folding knife, was later found when they found the driver arrested in Holland, Michigan the next morning. You just freeze right there, bro. You just did a horrifying act, and you kept the evidence on you. At least throw it out the window while you driving down the highway. You gotta be at least driving down, what, 94? From Illinois to Michigan? Along that little stretch right there, you going over bridges, bro. You could have just tossed that knife right out the window. Like, I'm gonna assume that you probably didn't stop at a truck stop to take a shower, because probably would be suspicious going in there getting a shower. Hey, I need a shower. You got blood all over you. They gonna find that suspicious. The cops is gonna be right there waiting for you when you come out in the shower. What question? But the murder weapon, I don't know. I wouldn't be riding with the murder weapon after I just did something crazy like that. I would have tossed the murder weapon out. I'm just saying. That's just me. But they tracked this truck, found blood in the cab, and then they match his phone connection to the building's Wi-Fi during the time of the murder. Man, I tell you guys, listen, if y'all gonna do some dirt, y'all better leave that cell phone at the house. Because see, with technology today, these cell phones, these the ones that's gonna get you guys caught. These cell phones is gonna put you at the place of the situation that you're gonna be at all the time. All the time. And it's just easy for them to just get the records, because all they got to do is ping the cell towers where your phone was at. You're going to be like, yeah, I was at home with my moms. We was over here watching some Law and Order. Then they're going to be like, yeah, okay, well, you can go ahead home. But then when they get those cell phone records, the cell phone records is going to put your ass right where the problem was. The same place where you said that you wasn't at, but your cell phone says different. That's why when you guys do dirt now, with technology the way it is, look, listen, leave the cell phone at the place where you say that you're going to be. Turn around and do various stuff at one place, and your cell phone is safely at the other place that's giving you the quote-unquote alibi. I'm just saying, because cell phones, these are the ones that's going to get you guys caught every time. I'm just saying. So don't do no nefarious stuff thinking that you're going to get away, especially if you have your cell phone. Back to the story. So surveillance photos, employee testimonies, and a string of verbal threats all are stacking up against this man. For a minute. First of all, right, I just want to say, how do you go from threatening someone in front of a lot of people, giving witnesses, by the way, multiple times, to actually following through it and nobody stepped in? Like, all the employees was there. None of you guys took that threat seriously. Y'all didn't tighten down security. How was he able to get back into the building after that? This is a disgruntled driver. He should never, ever had access to that CEO in the first place. There should have been security. There should have been receptionists. There should have been some people in the middle that should have stopped him before he even had access to that CEO. And let me flip the script. If the CEO did allow him to come in, that CEO shouldn't have been by himself. Somebody representative of the company should have been in there. Let me tell you something. Like I've worked at companies, right? You don't even have access directly to your DM. Like, I worked it for J&R Schwugel back in the day. You can't even walk up to your dispatcher. If you're coming in from the driver's lounge, the door is locked, it is key coded, and in order to get a hold of your dispatcher, you have to call him from the phone that's outside in the lobby. And then even that, when your dispatcher comes to the window, it's a window. They slide the window open. You don't even have like up close and personal contact with the dispatcher at J&R Schwugel. Same thing at US Express when I used to drive for them. Tunnel Hill is, I don't know how Tunnel Hill is now, but there's employees everywhere that will watch out for one another. So if a disgruntled truck driver comes in there talking crazy, there are employees there that will gang up and escort him out of the building. Even my previous company, like everybody is congregated in that little area. Like if a disgruntled driver goes off, everybody is going to gang up and escort him out. There is no way that CEO should have been by himself with a disgruntled driver after you guys known that he was a threat. Once you guys known that he was a threat, he shouldn't have even had access inside. I'm just saying. How he got in there, I do not know. But being that he made threats in front of other employees and they know that he was disgruntled, y'all should have took that serious. Y'all should have took that serious, man. That if I'm a CEO and somebody's threatening my life, you think I'm going to let him come back into my company willy-nilly? Don't get me wrong. Look, black op companies, I keep telling you guys need to stop playing with these drivers. You're going to F around and find out just like this dude did. But on the flip side of that, do not give these disgruntled drivers easy access to you either. Tighten up that security. I remember the story about the dude with the machete over at controversial company SuperEgo. Gang up on him and got him out and held him down until the officers came. That's what I'm talking about. If you that a disgruntled driver is going to be a threat, is going to be a problem, you need to tighten up that security. I get it. We're all under pressure. All these drivers out here, these homeless drivers, those the ones that you really need to watch out for, because those the ones that could snap in a minute. If you don't give them their money from wherever they came from, they already got messed over from one company, already got messed over from one company, and then they come to you and you do that exact same thing, of course they're going to snap. I understand CEOs of trucking companies go through financial problems every day. Freight goes up and down every day. When freight is down, it's mind-boggling. But when you start playing with drivers' money because of it, those drivers is going to feel some kind of way. Drivers are the ones that get left in the dust with no severance pay, no warning. Hey, it's over. But again, I agree. That's not a green light to commit diabolical murder. But sometimes these drivers don't have all their marbles. And when you get issues like that and disgruntled drivers like that in a high stress environment like trucking, the recipe for disaster is imminent. And come on, have you ever worked somewhere where somebody just willy-nilly and joked about snapping one day? People take that seriously. Like if you talk dirty about the president, you best believe they're going to find you, they're going to rush down the door, and then they're going to take you in. Take that seriously. The talking stops. So when somebody threatens your life, you don't just, I ain't gonna believe you. No, you take that shit seriously, bro. Don't laugh it off. Don't just be like, oh, that man is wild. That driver is wild. Fuck that. Fuck that. When people show you who they are, you better fucking believe them. I kid you not. Because the fact that other employees heard this driver say out loud what he was going to do to his boss, and days later that it actually happened, that's a failure on multiple levels, man. So I just wanted to say this to the black op companies. Y'all better look at this shit as a wake-up call, bro. Y'all better stop messing with these drivers. Start treating them with respect. Stop doing them dirty and being honest. If you can't pay the driver, don't use the driver. Because if I drive for you, I want to get paid. Don't play me. Don't play with my money. Please, don't play with these drivers. All this shit builds up. Trust me, depression, isolation, and you fucking with the driver is not a good mix. It's really not. It's already bad enough that we got a lot of pressures out here to deal with as it is. But again, I understand that the black op company CEOs are under pressure as well. I get it. Because at the end of the day, this whole situation from top to bottom is a tragedy. But this ain't the only isolated incident. I covered incidents like this in the past. And it's just all too common. When you mess with a driver that don't have nothing to lose, that's the driver you need to be wary of.